So you've got a product and you believe in it. You've got a little bit of money, not a lot, but just a little bit, enough to make some moves. What are those first few key positions that you need to be hiring for? Who are those first few critical people that you need as you start to build out your organization? But I noticed a trend in the first few companies that I started, and there are some roles that are a little bit more critical than others, or at least when getting started. So let's get into it. I'm Steve Rad. We help brands and creators bring consumer products to market. So if you've ever dreamed about seeing a product on store shelves, be sure to follow us here for the entire journey and the CPG blueprint. So you don't have unlimited capital. You're not going to build a team of 40 overnight. You're building a squad, something lean, something deadly. It's called an organization for a reason. There has to be some methodology. And especially now at this stage when we're starting to spend money. What are the things that matter to you most in this stage? Are we looking to expand our creative scope, or do we just need more ideas? Do we need to raise capital or look after the money that we already have, or focus on maybe accounting? Maybe you just need an executive assistant to take things off your plate. Regardless, you have to start the hiring process somewhere. And the truth is you probably have enough money for just one person at this stage. So let's break down the priority in order of the first 5 roles. And again, this just happens to be the pattern for me, and we'll chat about why I think that's important in a second. Position number 1, the graphic designer. Every company I've ever been a part of, the first hire was always a graphic designer. Period. Why? Because ideas die without execution. Ideas die without visualization. A good designer can turn those products and services into something you can see. Think about product mock-ups. Think about an Instagram page. Think about a pitch deck or packaging, a Shopify store, or maybe just a book cover. You can argue that AI can now replace a lot of what I just mentioned, but a well-rounded designer can take the AI-generated inputs and turn it into something digestible, a format that makes it easier to present and sell. Maybe hire a designer that's dialed in with AI, and now you've just amplified the output. AI isn't going to generate you a print-ready file that you can send to the factory. It's great for mocking up ideas and concepts, a mood board, but a human designer is still needed to tweak and polish with precision, to make things print-ready, to make things web-optimized. Package safety standards, barcode generation, licensing, and intellectual property. There's an entire world that you unlock with a good graphic designer by your side, especially if you're building a brand and not just a product. And the designer becomes the first domino in that chain to fall. Hire number 2 for me has always been an operations manager. Now, depending on your finances, this could be a very well-versed assistant or perhaps just a project manager. Depending on your budget, this could go as far as a COO or just a director of operations. In other words, someone that's going to help get shit done. You need someone to take the chaos and convert it into clarity. The secret sauce behind most entrepreneurs is a powerful operator. This operations person's sole job is to keep things on track. And suddenly with that hire, you become the vision and they become the execution. They help you build out a schedule, assign tasks, follow up on vendors, maybe some samples. There's a lot more resource planning that needs to take place at this stage. A lot of moving parts, and now you have a partner. The operations person suddenly becomes your best friend. And now you've got real-time visibility on what's going on with peace of mind that somebody else is watching the day-to-day so that you could focus on the bigger picture. Hire number 3, and this one's gonna blow your mind, is the content creator. Now let's pause for a second. 5 years ago, that role wasn't even on my radar. 2 years ago, it was maybe position number 15 or 18. Today, it's in the top 5, if not the top 3. And so that just goes to show you how important it is to start generating content as you're building out your brand. I'm sure the comment section is gonna blow up right now. You're telling me the accountant is less important than the content creator? Or not a sales or not a marketing person? Think about it, someone with a camera, someone who edits, someone who can tell your story. This is sales, this is marketing. And here's the truth, you can have the greatest product on the planet, but if there's no social media, no content strategy behind it, the item is dead. In a world where everyone is fighting for your attention, content is the primary engine, not the afterthought. And if you're not comfortable being on camera, hire someone who is. You need a face, you need a voice, you need a story. There has to be a vibe that connects you with your customer. And again, if it's not you, maybe it's a creator, maybe it's a mascot, maybe it's just a brand, or maybe it's AI. And on that note, it's worth mentioning that platforms have already started to shadow ban AI content. And what that means is that they're prioritizing real human-made content first. And so again, the answer isn't to replace your content creator with AI, it's to find a content creator that knows how to use AI to enhance and amplify their output, and to apply layers that were before impossible to achieve as you start to create relevant content that will help your brand stand out. And moving into our 4th hire, the accountant, and not Jason Statham from that movie where he whipped everyone's ass. And again, depending on your budget, we're talking about everything from a bookkeeper or a junior accountant all the way to an accounting manager or maybe a controller. Look, every scenario is different, but if you've raised money or plan on going public, then you probably need a CFO. At its very core, look at it this way. You're spending money now. There are dollars coming in and dollars going out, and somebody needs to keep track of it all. Poor or bad accounting can make or break a business, and the more of that you manage up front, the less of a pain in the ass it becomes later when you have to go back and clean it up. And it's not just bookkeeping, it's inventory tracking, it's vendor payments, it's cash flow. There's receivables, there's payment terms, there's reconciliation of accounts. And if you, as a startup owner, have taken that on, then that's less time on vision and growth. Try to look at it this way: accounting is vital, but it's not urgent. You can outsource things early, use QuickBooks, use maybe a part-time or a fractional CPA. But once the business grows and you're touching real money, you want someone in-house that's watching and managing every transaction. Did the deposits from Amazon hit this week? Why did the Shopify fee increase this month? What are these credit card charges I don't recognize? As the business grows, so will the headaches. And watching your books like a hawk will be more important than you think. All right, so you've got a designer building out our brand portfolio of products. You've hired an operations person. They've got your back. They're making sure things stay on track and get done on time. You've got a wicked content creator. He's building out your social media strategy. And we've got an accountant watching after payables, receivables, watching transactions internally, got an eye on the money. And you've got the wind behind you with momentum for your fifth hire: sales and marketing. And again, you can argue that's me, that's what I do. I'm the sales and marketing guy, which is true. Most entrepreneurs, when they first start their business, they are the primary salesperson for years to come. Nobody else is going to convey the passion behind the product the way you do. It's your product, it's your business. But what's important to understand at this stage is that you've now built out a logistics ecosystem. And while hiring a sales and marketing person right now at this stage feels redundant, it's actually the first stage of scaling. And that's by replacing yourself and coming full circle. In every company I've ever started or been a part of, I would build up every single department piece by piece and come full circle back to sales. Because as you can imagine, the one thing every company always needs is more sales. But wait, too much sales and your team isn't equipped to handle it. I've been in situations before where we've oversold, overpromised, and weren't able to deliver. Imagine not having the internal bandwidth to cure sales you've already made. And so yes, theoretically, there's no such thing as too much business, but you can get into muddy water if you're promising things or selling things that you can't deliver. Think about your sales hire as your company coming full circle. Maybe it's someone that's a better marketer and they can focus on the ad side while you still focus on sales. Or maybe you just hated doing sales all along and you're relieved to get that off your plate. I'm Steve Rath, CEO of Abacus Brands and founder at Backdrop.com. We put out a video every week to serve as sort of a masterclass in consumer product design. So be sure to subscribe or reach out to us directly if we can help or support you in any way. Thanks for watching.